What's up, world? Drew Marcy here for I Read Your Book, and today we're going to learn how to learn things faster and better in 2019 with tips and examples. This video is designed to help you retain information that you learn from reading books or personal interactions or social gatherings so you can have them more permanently in your brain and take them with you for the rest of your life. So let's get into how to learn things faster and better in 2019 with tips and examples. You may remember in yesterday's video where we talked about how to read books more efficiently step by step, that you want to take a personal takeaway, a unique thing that you learned that changed your life from each book. Whether or not you finished it, whether or not you made it through the entire book, you want to take away something that is close to you, not what the author thought they wanted you to think, what you personally thought, so that you're more effective in remembering how each book affects you personally. In this video, we're going to suggest that you combine those personal takeaways from each book that you read or each personal interaction and use those combined takeaways to create more effective behaviors and thought processes in your life. So let's say that you've gone through 3 personal interactions that you got a takeaway from, or more specifically, because this is I Read Your Book, 3 books that you read on a given topic, and you want to create a new system or a new way of thinking, a new philosophy around those 3 takeaways. So you're going to combine those 3 takeaways to build your new system. Now let's take this on the practical, real level. I developed my personal morning routine that I use, and you better get a morning routine. Billionaires do it. All successful people have a morning routine. I created a morning routine based on 3 specific books and the personal takeaways that I got from them. First book that I read was The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Super fanboy of Mel Robbins. This book converted me. Be sure to be into Mel Robbins if you're into self-help. But in that book, she describes taking the first 2 hours of her day for herself. She got her phone on airplane mode, and what she found was if she sets aside those 2 hours just for herself, she's starting her life, she's starting her day on her own schedule. The minute you turn your phone on, the minute you interact with somebody else, even if it's your loved one, your own family, you're on somebody else's time, or at least somebody else's priorities become part of your priorities. So from that book, I learned that you must have the first 2 hours of the day on airplane mode so that you're on your time and not somebody else. Second book I read was The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. That is pretty much a primer on everything about having a great morning routine. He shows you morning routines that are short, and he shows you ones that are long, but this was the book that really helped me understand the importance of the morning routine, and that it's going to take me a little while to get really comfortable with doing it. It's not going to feel good. So he talks about the first 10 days of a 30-day challenge, the second 10 days of 30-day challenge, and he breaks down how routines are going to emotionally grow with you. And the last book I read, or half read, was The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Now, this is a book I never finished, and going back to how personal takeaways, you want to be looking for them in the first 50 pages, first 30 minutes of listening to the audiobook so that you can get a takeaway even if you never finish the book. I actually found this book just on my parents' bookcase, read like 20 pages of it. And what I got from that was habits are formed in groups, right? You form a habit by, I brush my teeth, I go in the shower, I do my acne routine, I do yoga, right? You build it into a group, and that's going to make it more effective. And you're just going to, over time, when you're patient, like we learned in Hal Elrod's book, over time, it's just going to feel like one continuous connection rather than each thing that you're trying to implement feeling like a drag the first time that you do it because you're only doing it by itself. So I took what I learned from these 3 books and I built together a morning routine using grouped habits. I have my phone on airplane mode for the first 2 hours of the day, so I'm not on anybody's schedule, and I waited out patiently because I know it's going to take a while for me to feel comfortable. This is combined personal takeaways from all 3 books, and now I'm like 50 days into my morning routine and I barely even noticed that I've done it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I wouldn't know how to live without this morning routine that I built from reading these 3 books. By doing it this way, I learned it more effectively. Again, it's personal to me because it's built on personal takeaways of my interpretation of the book. And overall, I feel very comfortable with the knowledge of these books, where some of them them I really became a fanboy of the author. Some of them I just kind of read it as an overview. And then some of them I didn't even finish the book, but it's still something that's part of my life. And somebody who's really into a book like The Power of Habit, I can still have a conversation with them, and it's something that I learned from that book. So that is today's video. Be sure to check out How to Read Books More Effectively Step by Step. That is yesterday's video. That's where we go more in depth about personal takeaways, how to read books really quickly, get a lot of knowledge covered in a quick amount of time. If this is your first time watching us, be sure to subscribe and join our notification family. We're going to be releasing a lot of new videos very quickly, building on the ideas just like we did here. And as always, we like to ask a question for you to comment on at the end of these videos. What is a book and a personal takeaway that you've gained this year in 2019 so far? It's about halfway through 2019 at the taping of this video. What is a book? What's the book title and the author, and a personal takeaway that you gained? I've been your host, Drew Morrissey. For I Read Your Book, I will see you in the comments. Thanks for watching.